One of the questions that I get asked the most often is, what if I just move everything to a new page or a new URL? And that answer depends on what type of Google update you're dealing with, and have you been hit site-wide, or have you only had a few pages hit? So if you've been hit site-wide, this is something that you would see when you launch new pages. And by new pages, a lot of times people will take all of the same content, put it on a new URL, and then launch it as if it's a brand new page. You'll see that the clicks and the impressions start to go up a little bit, but they're still being suppressed. This page never does as well as it did before you got hit by the Google update. And then as time goes on, you can see it begins to flatline. No impressions and no click-throughs. Here is another example of a page that was launched on a site that has been hit by a Google update. And once the new page is launched, after a few months, you can see that it begins to flatline. You can see in the beginning, once they did launch the page, it always looked as if it was suppressed. It never did as many impressions or click-throughs as the site did before it was hit by the Google update. You can see that there's some type of suppression going on, even though it's a brand new URL. And then again, with time, eventually it flatlines. Here is another example of a page that was launched. You can still see that it was being suppressed. It never did as well as the original old page when it was launched. And then with time, it flatlines, and then it pops up just a little bit, but not much, and then flatlines again. I marked that in black to show you what happens when all you do is move everything to a new URL. Now, if your site has not been hit site-wide, and I've certainly worked on sites that only had a few pages that would plummet out of the top 100, but not the entire site. If you are able to find the patterns that Google is using against you to suppress your site, it is possible to launch a new page if you have cleaned those factors up and the page do well. However, it's easier just to clean up the pages that have been suppressed so that Google recalibrates and then brings your page back to life. So you can see if your site has been hit, if you don't clean up what Google is using to suppress the site, even launching new pages, even when the site has not been hit site-wide, your pages will continue to struggle. So the biggest takeaway is to be able to recognize the patterns that hold sites or suppress sites back that Google is currently able to dial into, so that you are able to remove those patterns from your site so that you have a chance to fully recover.